Hi, and welcome back to our LISO vlog, the lean agile approach to ISO 9001. Andreas here, and I have, of course, my good colleague Jon with me.
Hello, everybody.
All right, today we will continue to dissect the section of the standard that is about the design and development process. Isn't it right, Jon?
That's exactly right. So let me just start sharing the screen. And having lean mindsets, a direction guided by lean with respect to value flow and waste and removal of waste, of course, and building a culture of continuous improvement. And you add that with the day-to-day best practices provided by Agile, you will automatically fulfill the requirements within the ISO 9001 standard. Isn't that so, Andreas?
That is absolutely correct. And it's so nice to have this lean agile approach to the ISO standard, because it makes it less complicated. Because I always say that the ISO 9001, or the standard for quality management system, it's just common sense. It's common sense in a very neat way, and if you use a lean agile approach to it, it's even more common sense, and it will be automatically like a part of your culture in the company.
And what you see here in this particular picture is that combining the ISO requirements you put on yourself with a lean way of working and agile best practices, you get this sweet hotspot in the middle where you get that operational continuous improvement excellence that is what everybody is striving for.
And this particular subclause is about the need to control the interfaces between the persons that is involved in the design and development process. So we're actually going to talk about that today, and how you can have a lean agile approach to this subclause, and to see that if you work with lean or agile today, you automatically fulfill this part.
Look at this illustration. What we need to do in order to get this development and roles and responsibilities up and going is to have a well-defined understanding of customer needs, and also have mapped that need into your value stream in a way that is not push and pray as it is to the left, with a lot of fuss going on. But what we need is to establish a flow that is synchronized when we develop whatever we are doing. So what we are doing is to use these principles of lean and add to that the agile ways of working in order to synchronize development in a well-defined way. And in that particular requirement from ISO, we will get these things solved by combining them. And we can illustrate that further by saying value doesn't follow silo. We also know from many concrete examples that people and organizations are striving with their value streams because they do not organize the value creation according to the value stream. They build hierarchical structures that are imposing problems. And what could you say about that, Andreas?
Well, that is quite obvious. That is starting to be problems within a company that is built like a hierarchy, because most of the times you try to do processes and process mapping, but that's the same thing as a value stream mapping. So what you can see when you start to follow the value stream, you can see that it doesn't actually care about the silos in the company, and you have to be aware about this. So it is, I would say, it's paramount to understand the value stream and the persons involved in the value stream to be able to create value in your processes. And so if you have a design and development process, you have to actually understand what's the value stream and who's involved in this value stream, and not only the persons inside of the company. We have other interesting parties like the customer, for instance, and where do they come into the picture, and where do they add value?
Exactly.
And where do you add value to the customers in the design and development process? So you have to keep that in mind.
So what we say in this illustration is that no matter how you are organized in your organization, what kind of department and so on, what Agile and Lean tells you is that you need to do the work along the value streams, no matter how the organization formally is, which means that you have to organize the work you do according to the value stream and break down the silos within the organization in a way that you follow the value stream as you are actually operating in the organization.
Correct.
Yeah, and then we get to a very exciting part, because the value stream in itself it can be very, very advanced, or it can be complicated, and so on. And what this part of the ISO clause is requiring you to is to develop your products and services in a way that creates value in the best possible way for the customers by cooperating within the value stream in the best way possible. And that's what we try to illustrate here, that you have these green value adds. You have in every value stream, you also have necessary but non-value add things that you have to do, but which is of a kind that the customer is not willing to pay for. And also you have the red ones, which is unnecessary non-value add. And by assigning responsibilities and roles along the value stream, you are able to optimize the value added part and sync the cooperation between the roles as value is created along the value stream. So
and another sweet thing with actually do a value stream mapping and to kind of smoke out the unnecessary non-value adding activities, you free up time to rearrange your resources so they can bring value in other processes and other parts of the organization, because that's what Lean is about. It's not about just slimming or trimming the organization. It's about putting the right people and the right resources where they can add value.
Exactly. And what you're saying is so immensely important, because you may, in this particular value stream, if you manage to remove the red ones, the unnecessary non-value adds, and you manage to work smarter in order to reduce the capacity required by the necessary non-value adds, you all of a sudden have a lot of free capacity. And this capacity can be used to develop more value for the customers within the value stream, or as you said, Andreas, be used to add value in other value streams where the resources are needed. So this is the picture describing that once you have a well-defined value stream and you have roles and responsibilities attached to that, you are in a very nice position to really create value, develop what the customers need in a very well-defined way.
Mm-hmm.
So then we are back to what we would like to emphasize here, and that is a typical agile organization where you do the right things at the right and same time. You synchronize the work between the teams by having operational priorities, what the organization would like to develop, and you synchronize the requirements from that operational priorities within the teams and between the teams, and you sync the team working so that the value stream and the customer focus always is on top. Or what, Andreas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's all about actually see where you have to synchronize your work and who's who's involved in the processes, and that takes some time, and it takes of course you need to have forums where you meet to discuss and to synchronize and to prioritize together what to do and what's important in line with the strategic initiatives. So by freeing time, by removing waste or non-value adding activities, you will end up with more time to do this synchronization. You will end up with more time to develop new things. You will end up with more time to improve your processes.
So to sum up this particular requirement from ISO, Andreas, isn't it right to say that if you work with defining your development value streams properly, you have clearly defined what is the roles involved, what are the responsibilities involved, and what are the handshakes between these roles and responsibilities, then all of a sudden you have what is required from this ISO requirement. Isn't that so?
That is correct. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds easy. But as you see, you get the support from the team working day-to-day agile input with the mindset and the value stream things coming from lean, and by combining them you don't really have to bother with the requirement for ISO because you are actually doing it that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, by just working lean and agile, you will apply. You will and not apply. I mean, you will actually live the standard, and that is what the standard wants you to do.
Yeah, exactly. And Andreas, we are closing in now, so I would like just to say that we have a special offer, don't we, for people watching this vlog, and that is that we have a 1-hour free chat. That if you from this would like to take the next step, you want to say, yeah, but what in ISO or what in agile and lean, from my perspective, must I have a special attention to in order to take that step that we are talking about? Well, you can send us a mail, send us a comment, call us, whatever you want, and we will provide for you a 1-hour free chat discussing this from your particular perspective. Isn't that so, Andreas?
Yeah, that's correct. And of course, if you have any questions or any thoughts about a clause, a special clause in the standard that we haven't been talking or discussing yet, send us an email and it will be a future episode.
Yes. So, Andreas, with that said, I think we are done with today's episode, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, everybody, thank you so much.